Why is time so important? I already hinted at it, but just to drive the point home, these are all the references in the Bitcoin white paper written by Satoshi. It has 8 references. 3 of them, almost half of them, are about timestamping, are about timekeeping. Like that should tell you something. And he also has many quotes in the announcement and in white paper where he says, you know, the distributed network acts as a distributed timestamping server. And there is a great piece that was written before my piece, Bitcoin is Time, that says that Bitcoin is a decentralized clock. And that's exactly right. And I'm going to tell you now, like, why this is important and kind of how it works. It's a bit difficult to understand, but I'll do my best in like 5 or 10 minutes. So again, if we have a list, we need an absolute order of things. So time comes into play. And that's exactly what Bitcoin does. Every time you hear the term blockchain, erase it from your memory and automatically translate it to time chain. Because what these blocks do in Bitcoin and in every other system that works like it is it creates an arrow of time in cyberspace. So it is an informational construct that builds up an arrow of time. And it's very important how this informational construct is constructed, because you can't use absolutely anything for an arrow of time. Like the natural numbers, for example, or a calendar is not a great arrow of time because you already know the future. Like if I'm telling you my arrow of time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I can skip to 120 and jump into the future. I also know the past perfectly. And so you need something that has random processes embedded in it so that the future is always uncertain. And you have something that does not allow you to change the past, just like with our own regular physical arrow of time. It's very hard to change the past. Like quantum physics aside, those kind of things, the past is unchanging and the future is uncertain. And the same is true in Bitcoin. And it builds just by using information alone, it builds up this arrow of time in cyberspace. And so you can see this yourself. If you go to mempool space, for example, you see here the arrow of time is reversed. So it goes from right to left. But the green blocks here that are still in the mempool, from the eyes of the Bitcoin network, they don't have a time. They are still timeless. Like transactions only get a timestamp, so to speak, by the Bitcoin network, which is the block height, which you see here, the 746471. And that's also why you can use the block time. Like if a block was found, I timestamp all my articles with the block height, because it tells you the time worldwide for every time zone, for everything, and it's like 10-minute time window. It's approximately right. And just to be clear, it is about the arrow of time. It's not that this is a precise clock. It is about creating an order of events that is indisputable. Like everyone can verify it, and you cannot cheat the past, period. And what we have also now is we have this uncertain future in the mempool, and we have the present. We have like the eternal now, so to speak. The chain tip of Bitcoin is what's happening now. And because of proof of work, rewriting the past is very expensive. And because of the accumulative properties of proof of work, it gets exponentially more expensive and becomes so unlikely that you can say that settlement in Bitcoin is final a couple blocks down. It's never really final though. Everything is probabilities. So that's how Nakamoto consensus works. There are no checkpoints, and so again, Bitcoin uses proof of work to create this arrow of time in cyberspace. And another way to saying the same thing is that Bitcoin creates an unforgeable history, and that is so important. Like we never had anything like this in the past. Everything we had in the past was always a record of history. And what's also important is like if you remove proof of work, you remove this property. The reason why you can't change the past in Bitcoin is because of proof of work. And so if you remove this property, we're again back to the old system of lists where you have a couple of list keepers and they will tell you, no, this is actually what happened, and we sign off on it, and just trust us, bro. Like this is actually what happened. And with proof of work has this property where you just look at the proof of work yourself, and all the truth, all the information you need is embedded in the information itself. And this is a mind-blowing property of proof of work. That's also why you don't need to have a trusted communication channel to broadcast the proof of work. You can give it to your enemies, and they're not able to alter the information. They would have to redo the proof of work, which is also to work for the system. So it's ingenious, like because the truth, because history, because everything you need to know is contained in the information itself. you can relay it in an untrusted communication channel. That's why, like, you can use any communication channel. Once you found a valid block, just push it out there. No one will be able to alter this.